San Francisco got hammered today. That score's not indicative. They got pushed all over the field. They were lucky it was that close.
Oh, how the turntables have turntables have damn it, the 49ers are rubbing off on me. What's going on, Vikings fans? Welcome to the Purple and Gold Bars podcast. I'm your host, Supreme. We made it to episode 2 and week 2 reaction. Just like last week, we're going to toot our own horn a little bit here because it turns out that another prediction video was pretty spot on. My prediction was 24-21 Vikings. I mentioned in that prediction video that I imagined the game going down to the final possession and it being a 3-score game. In the flashes in the crystal ball, I predicted that there would be a rushing touchdown, but I couldn't tell which team it was. And I think there was only one rushing touchdown. And I also predicted there was going to be an interception by Josh Metellus. So these crystal ball videos have become pretty damn accurate. I don't know what that is, but it's probably just my brilliant mind and its ability to predict games. It can't be the nice old lady that I bought the crystal ball from, right? Either way, I'm excited that those two predictions, the first two predictions of the year, have been spot on. And in my preview, I mentioned my X factor would be Jalen Naylor, and he turned out to be the X factor of the game, in my opinion. And then I said that for us to win, we need to stop the run and make the rookie look like a rookie. And first and foremost, that rookie looks damn good. And yeah, he blew me away. And then I went on to say that we need to make sure that we play mistake-free football, limit the turnovers, as well as play defense at a high level like we did the week before. So 2 out of 3 on that. We definitely limited our mistakes. We had some, but we definitely won that battle. And our defense played huge. And that brings me to my first impressions, observations, and what I liked and what I didn't like in yesterday's game. The first thing I noticed is that Sam started building confidence much faster this game, definitely much faster than the week before. So that gave me a lot of confidence in him. I feel like the chemistry between the offense and Sam Darnold is further along with its chemistry than I think I had given it credit, or that I thought it would be by this time of the year. I thought it would take a little bit longer for Sam to settle in and start playing really good football. Let's jump ahead to the game clinching drive, because yes, there's a lot to be said about Jettas and what he did, as well as Aaron Jones and Ty Chandler. Yes, there's a lot to be said there, but that game clinching drive needs to be talked about first. Sam Darnold had no Jettas, no Addison, and no TJ Hawkinson. It did not matter to him or KOC. If it had mattered to them, KOC would have forced him to run the ball every single play and hope to get into field goal range, and if not, punt the ball away and play defense. That's what we would have seen out of Zimmer. That's what we would have seen out of a lot of teams that don't have trust in their quarterback. That's not what we got. What we saw in that moment going into that drive was total confidence in Sam Darnold by himself as well as KOC. His play calling reflected that from the very beginning of the game. The whole playbook was open to Sam. I imagine that first game to be just quick release passes, just like we see, conservative coaches do when they get a rookie quarterback. Just a quick pass, get it out, or a handoff. Let's not put any pressure on the quarterback. Let's run the clock. Let's run the ball and play some old school football and grind out some wins that way. That goes to show how much confidence KOC and this offense has in Sam Darnold, and the internal confidence that Sam Darnold has in himself that he can lead this offense into a scoring situation like he did. I know ideally they game planned it for 7, but they still did enough to clinch the game. So you can't be upset about that. It is just growing pains, right? And I'm definitely going to talk about that in a moment. But right now, we need to talk about how incredible that drive was and how they were not phased by that situation. I don't know what else KOC and Sam Darnold has to do to prove to our fans, as well as the national media and casual NFL fans, that Sam Darnold is the real deal and we should be believing in him. So yeah, I think that kind of wraps up everything that I have to say about that drive. It was incredible. The passes that he made on there were awesome. Jalen Naylor came up huge. He was my X factor and he didn't let me down. Sherfield, as well as Powell, came up clutch with some huge catches to get that ball down the field. So incredible things that we need to see from this offense and Sam Darnold in these situations. Yeah, it wasn't perfect. It didn't look like Tom Brady in his prime with the Patriots when they were winning Super Bowls. But you know what? He still brought the offense down and we still ended up creating that two-score lead that we were after. So, sloppy, yes, but it got the job done. That drive also confirmed to me that we definitely have the best receiving room in all of football. I don't care what anybody says. It doesn't matter. If Jettas is out, Addison steps up. If both of them are out, the rest of the receiving core steps up. I don't see that many third, fourth, and fifth receivers being asked to make these kind of catches in clutch time, let alone getting it done. Needless to say, the Vikings have the best receivers in the league, hands down, and nobody can tell me otherwise. Next, let's move on to KOC's play calling. In my opinion, it's improved since year one. And in hindsight, I should have been more patient and more understanding, considering the fact that it was KOC's first year calling plays. And since then, we've seen him improve at it. We have seen a lot of bonehead mistakes, and at times he gets this like Dennis the Menace grin, and he's about to call some crazy gadget play, and then when it doesn't go the way that he thought, we end up stalling out or ends up costing us points or something like that. So it seems to me like a lot of those situations have started to dissipate, which is really, really good. And he's becoming more and more consistent. Even though he's called those types of plays, those gimmicky types of plays, at the end of the day, they end up being experience for him to draw upon for when the right opportunity comes up. Because he calls these plays and they fail. And at the very least, he understands what went wrong. And so now maybe we'll get lucky in the playoffs or in a really close game. Everything will line up perfectly. And so he calls the play because of the experiences that he's had calling these weird plays at weird times might end up helping us in the future in these niche, very clutch situations, right? We've seen him throw some random fake punts, which is experiences that he's going to draw upon in these potentially close games that regardless of how good your team is, you're always going to be forced into in the playoffs in the hunt for the Super Bowl. So maybe in those times, these situations will lead to something. So, needless to say, I'm happy at the way that KOC's play calling has improved over the years. And I feel comfortable now to put all those concerns to rest because I feel like by the time we hit our prime, those things are not going to be a factor. Just like growing pains. Wow. I know because of the growing pains, a lot of national media or pundits or outsiders are going to look at the score and assume the game was a lot closer than it really was. Our mistakes kept the 49ers in this game. I don't think we need to worry about that, though. Last year, these mistakes lost us the game. This year, they did not. And crucially, this year, when playing one of the best teams in football, those mistakes didn't hold us back. Yes, I would have loved for Sam Darnold to fit that ball right over the middle linebacker and put it right into the receiver's hand. I'll wait till I can see all the passes that Sam threw from this game, but from the angle that I could see on the broadcast, it looks like if that legendary Hall of Famer Fred Warner didn't make that interception or didn't jump 10 feet high to catch that, that was a completion and we would have been like first and goal. So I'm not upset about that interception because to me, it leads me to the confidence that Sam Darnold has. He has a little bit of gunslinger in him after all. And maybe only Fred Warner could have made that interception. Maybe there's only a handful of linebackers that can make that interception like that. So most of the time, that pass may have worked. So I'm not upset with that decision. I'm not upset with that pass, unlike everybody seemed to be crucifying him for it. It showed me that he has the confidence that we need because the pressure was on right there. That was our first opportunity to take control of the lead and not look back. Sam, in that situation, instead of maybe being the old shell-shocked Sam Darnold, he chose to take a shot and go for the dagger in that moment. So to me, I don't know about you, but nobody was upset when Brett Favre did it. But for as many times that he threw ill-advised throws, he thread the needle and he was looked as a god for doing so, right? We don't look at Brett Favre, the football player, like some bum that freaking got lucky and won a Super Bowl with the Packers. No, we see him as a legendary gunslinger that you would be okay with those bad interceptions with his play because you know that every once in a while when he hits on those, it's a home run and seals the game for you. So, needless to say, I'm not upset with that interception, unlike most, which ties back into growing pains. Like, I'm aware that growing pains are going to lead to costing us drives, maybe even leads, and even games. I know that it's going to happen this year. But those experiences will be a catalyst for our team's improvement. Last year, we started with a ton of growing pains, and it cost us huge to start the season. I believe that experience led us to prepare much differently this offseason. That's why we've started the season with far less growing mistakes, far less penalties, far less unforced errors, and that's why we've become more consistent. We're not all the way there yet. We're not Tom Brady and the Patriots consistent, but we're on our way there. So as the year progresses, the highs and lows will provide crucial experiences that will make us that much better for when JJ McCarthy takes over next year. I don't know about you, but I would rather have all these ups and downs that are caused by team chemistry to happen this year. Because next year, I want the team to be a non factor when it comes to the transition into the JJ McCarthy era. What I mean by that is that I don't want to see a whole bunch of unforced errors. I don't want to see a whole bunch of chemistry issues when it comes to within themselves, while also trying to integrate JJ into the offense and hit the ground running. That way, none of those things are keeping away from the focus on transitioning JJ into the offense, helping him develop, helping him improve, helping him find how to play at the NFL level and at the speed in which he's going to see the game progress in front of him. And the team can just keep us in the games and make it easy for him to accomplish his daily goals, his weekly goals, his season goals, and eventually his career goals. That's why I'm all for all the highs and lows that are going to come this season. We're playing with house money this year. So everything that we experience is only going to make us better for next year and the year after. So, needless to say, I am going to be thoroughly excited to ride the Minnesota Vikings roller coaster this year. I'm not going to sweat any of the growing pains. I'm not going to sweat any of the losses. I'm just going to sit back, relax, and enjoy the season because I know, regardless of how it turns out, it's only going to make the JJ McCarthy era that much better. Now, is there anything else that I wanted to talk about this game? Oh, you know what? There is one more thing. I just saw this here written down in the bottom corner of the page. I thought it was part of another bullet point there, but O-line is what I wrote down. There has been a ton that has been said about the Minnesota Vikings interior O-line. Everybody seems to be comfortable hating on Ingram in the middle, number 67. And I feel like everybody expects him to play perfect. What, is he supposed to not allow any sacks ever, never allow any pressures, and be literally a Hall of Fame level guard? Is that what we want from him? Is that what the fans want from him? I don't. Yeah, I see mistakes. I see him get blown up from time to time. But all in all, he does a good job. If he didn't, do you think Sam Darnold would have had the time he got in the pocket in our own end zone to throw that, 55 yards through the air pass to JJ? No. We would have taken a safety there. But guess what? He's playing much better than anyone wants to give him credit. Yeah, he has his moments where it's not pretty, and I'm not going to deny that. But give the guy a break. He's doing his best, and he's doing pretty damn good. Let's look back at last week on the touchdown to Jalen Naylor. Ingram was blown up at the line. But you know what he did? He gave just enough time for Sam Darnold to throw the ball. And you might think, oh, well, that was just a heads-up play by Sam. He just managed to get the ball out quick enough. No, 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 no. That was a timing-based play. Sam was going to throw that ball around that time, regardless of how well the O-line was holding up. So, Ingram, even when he does bad, he's still able to squeak out enough time for Sam to get the check down out or to scramble out. And sometimes it's going to look bad. Yeah, it looks bad when it looks bad. But you know what? I don't care. He's getting better. He does what he needs to do. And overall, the play calling, the presence of mind of Sam Darnold to get it out when he sees that pressure coming, when he does not hold the line, gives me confidence in our O-line. Not to mention the rest of them are killing it out there. So I'm sick and tired of fans criticizing our O-line. Yeah, they're going to have some really bad games, I'm sure. Okay? But guess what? We just faced two of the best pass rushes in football. You're trying to tell me that Dexter Lawrence, Brian Burns, Kayvon Thibodeau, Fred Warner, Nick Bosa, you're telling me that they're trash. And that's why Ingram did okay. Get out of here. Seriously? I'm sorry to get so frustrated or so animated, but that is one thing that really bugs me. You know what? We have a team that is so good that we haven't had a team this good in probably decades. And our jaded fans want to continue to cut down the players in which seem to be struggling in comparison to everybody else. And mind you, that's what, one or two or maybe three guys out of 53 players? Sorry, you know what? I'm pretty sure that Tom Brady's Patriots in the height of their dynasty, I'm pretty sure they weren't perfect. They had weaknesses too. They overcame them and they still won regardless of those weaknesses because they were well coached, just like our team. So how about you guys pump the brakes? How about you guys turn down the jadedness and the hate for our own team? We get it enough from the national media. We don't need it from you guys too. Okay? So settle down. You guys are going to miss a beautiful season if you keep up with this negativity. You're not going to enjoy a single game. And when you look back, after it's all said and done with, you're going to have regrets knowing that maybe I should have just shut the hell up and enjoyed the ride and see how it plays out. Because that's what sports are all about. You play the games, you see where the chips lie, and at the end of it, the best team wins. And the journey is just as important as the finish. So you guys need to settle down, quit with the Sam Darnold hate, quit with the Ingram hate, and just be happy that we have a really, really good football team that is overachieving in a bridge year. Seriously, all this hate in a bridge year. I could imagine having that kind of animosity or that kind of negativity, 3 years into the JJ McCarthy era, and all we have is failure after failure. Yeah, yeah, then I might have something to say about that, and I might be on your side a little bit more, but we have barely started, and you guys are acting like we've thrown 4 Super Bowls in the last 4 years. So how about you guys relax, enjoy the ride, because you're gonna miss out. And I think I'm just gonna leave it there. Thanks for tuning in for the second episode of the Purple and Gold Bars podcast. So please leave a comment, like, and subscribe. And until next time, Skol Vikings!